Hey, what do you do? What do you do when you haven't driven your favorite car in a while? You drive your favorite car. Yeah, I'm thinning out the herd here at the Ice Age compound. So, you know what? It's just terrible. I'm being forced to drive some cars that I really don't drive that much. Yes, and today it's all about the Dodge Charger, Plum Crazy, wide body, 392, Scat Pack, Super B package with the actual track radial tires on this, which for the cooler days isn't the smartest idea, but you know what? I ain't that smart. So I'm going to drive this thing today and have some more fun. But the biggest thing I'm going to do, I'm going to show everybody how this vehicle here with a big old 6.4 liter V8 392 motor gets probably just as good a gas mileage, if not better, than the inline six Hurricane motor that's the next generation Dodge Charger. Stay tuned for the adventures on Plum Crazy Day, 392 Day, Wide Body Day, Super B Day, Scat Pack Day. Wow, it's too much, right? Now, if you follow my channel, you'll know the other day I drove the Dodge Charger 2025 electric vehicle, the RT Pack edition, and wow, I've never really been that excited about the Dodge per se interior. I never thought it's been kind of really just like set you back, but now after seeing the new Dodge Charger interior, I think it kind of looks pretty gaudy. So for me, I actually like this interior better. So now here we go. And what I want to do today is show everybody here is go to the fuel economy here. If I can find it, it's never ending. So let's reset the fuel economy right now. Now, one thing about this car, it does have the big ass drag tires on it. So this is not going to get as good of mileage as, say, the non-drag pack style tires. And let's see here, it just cracks me up. Yeah, so it's so confusing about telling my Dodge guys what's wrong with this car the other day. It's like, hello, I was telling them it wasn't working properly. No, it's not the home link. It's actually the USB connections to connect for my infotainment center. So I just haven't driven this car enough. So they were trying to figure out why my home link wasn't working, but that wasn't even the problem. I just realized when I got in the car, it's like, I'm gonna hook up my Apple Play to have my Waze on. Then I came to realize that, oh no, down here in the console, the USB things are not recognized. So, it just doesn't end. There's just too much stuff. And the mailman's already beat me, so that sucks. Yeah, just too much information. Too many cars, and trying to retain everything has got issues, which about every car you ever buy anymore these days has some recall on it. I think every manufacturer has a recall, no matter what it's a motorcycle, car, truck, SUV, could be a boat, could be a camper, who knows. And anyways, the point is, others in this Ice Age, that's the name of my channel, is the internal combustion engine age, is the excitement that you get out of these V8 motors, and that at the end of the day, this whole electric revolution just is never going to be, in my view, what everybody thinks it's going to be, and saving mankind and saving Mother Nature Earth. I think it's far-fetched, and I think it's an overreach of political and government powers, and in some ways business trying to take advantage of consumers being brainwashed to think electric cars are going to save the world. It's a bunch of malarkey. So here we are, and right now I'm in the regular mode, non-SRT mode, so it's a little bit more lethargic, and it will go into the cylinder deactivation. But here's the point. Let's see what we get out of fuel economy in this vehicle. I've owned many Dodge Chargers throughout my life, and the V8 motors, the 392s, the 5.7s, and the 6.2 Hellcat 374 cubic inch motor. And so I just know that these vehicles, if you don't get into them, they're 20 mile plus per gallon vehicles. The Hellcat vehicles, if you don't get into those things are all day long 20 plus miles per gallon. These SRT or the 392 motors in these Challengers and Chargers, you can get, I believe, 24, 26, 28 miles a gallon if you're not driving erratically. So once again, the whole point is I'm sharing with you my Plum crazy driving time. And as long as I'm not trying to be the Mr. do the burnouts and get crazy in this thing, I think you're going to see some really good fuel economy. And I just reset it so that the fake news, and that's the thing, what happens is, I was so always arguing throughout the years of buying my Hellcats back in the day that I paid this gas guzzler tax. And it never made any sense why we paid a gas guzzler tax. Well, if you want to know, the laws have changed over the years, but back in 2016, 17, 18, if you had a vehicle, a car, not a truck, any passenger vehicle had to have a minimum of 18 miles per gallon or greater for it not to have to pay a gasoline guzzler tax. Any vehicle, car that was under 18 miles per gallon, you had to pay a gas guzzler tax. Well, on a car that's cost 70, 80, 90, up to $100,000, that starts to add up, where you're paying like a $2,000, $2,500, $3,000 gas guzzler tax. And I always argued that whoever the EPA people were driving these Hellcats, they had to intentionally be ragging the hell out of them and driving them to their utmost extreme to make sure they got below that 18 miles per gallon. And I think it was unfair. I think that the Hellcat product was unfairly called out, and it's just a tax subsidy, and just another tax for government right off of you. But I always thought to myself, if you took a regular old car, even a car that's going to get 20, 21 miles a gallon, of more of a 4-cylinder or 6-cylinder banger, Toyota, Mazda, whatever car may be, and you just had pedal to the metal all day long, and you ragged the hell out of it to see what you could do in fuel economy, I can about guarantee you that vehicle probably would have fallen underneath that EPA guideline. Because these cars are already right here, look here, 17 miles per gallon. So right there, back in 2016, 17, 18, I don't know what the latest laws are. They probably raised it to 19 miles per gallon, maybe even 20 miles per gallon to get their guzzler tax, to try to discourage you from buying these cars that are performance cars. But at the same time, it's all about the tax man just wanting more money so he can give it to the USAID, and you'll be a really happy person where that goes. 17.8. So here we go. So this car here is a 392. It did not get the gas guzzler tax because in all reality, it beat that minimum requirement. But I've had Dodge Charger Hellcats with the Hellcat and the Red Eye Hellcat, and those vehicles have gotten 20 miles per gallon. Now, the argument would be, yeah, if you're driving out an open highway, blah, 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 blah. Well, I'm telling you, if you drive open highway in this car and you keep it respectable, and then you are in town traffic, overall, you're still going to be hitting a good 18, 19 miles per gallon on this vehicle, if not 20. And same thing with the Hellcats. It was just a very unjustified tax that was more or less about a money grab by the government. Because if you stop and think about it, how many Hellcats were sold throughout the years compared to a conventional four-door sedan car? So in so many ways, it's like you're punishing the select few that have the power. And let's just say that the vehicle really doesn't crest to 18 miles per gallon. But the irony is, most people go out and buy these GT500s. They buy the Mustang, so I should say the Hellcats. They don't usually drive them like a daily driver. Here's my kid. Oh, it's a Friday. Okay, here we are. We're at 22 miles per gallon. Look at this here. And I haven't gotten in the open highway. So what does this thing hit today with me staying very non-aggressive, staying within reasonable speeds, not being an aggressive driver and going a lot over the speed, even though with the road I'm going down, it's a 70 mile an hour posted road. Everybody goes 75, 80 miles an hour. Some do 90 to 100 miles an hour. But let's just, once again, let's see what we can do. And this car's not going to get the optimum fuel economy because of these big fat drag radials. If I had the same tires that are on my Gold Rush Challenger, this car definitely would get a few more miles per gallon. It would be a good thing to do. The Red Eye Challenger, I should do a video of that as well, just to share with others how these really V8 motors in the Mopar product do a great job. Now, on the Ford side, the Coyote motor's never been good to me in my Mustangs. The GT500 was a gas guzzler. I couldn't get over in so many ways. The GT500 to me was kind of more of a little smaller platform car than my Challenger, especially my Charger, and it just always cracked me up on how I could never get that good gas mileage. It was always a 13, 15, 16. It just was never a 20 mile per gallon car. I could never do it. It was just crazy. And it truly was a gas hog. So it's so interesting on how that 5.0 motor, you're talking about a 5.0 motor or a 5.2 for the Predator motor, cubic, the 5.2 liter, versus you're talking about a 6.2 liter Hellcat motor. So a full liter more. So, I mean, that's even makes no sense even more so that the Hellcat product had a bigger engine in it than the Mustang, but yet the Hellcat did better on fuel economy. And it's in the Hellcat is a wider car, a bigger car, a heavier car. So does that make any sense? It really doesn't. You would have said out of the gate that the Ford Mustang having a 5.2 liter motor over a 6.2 liter motor, and the car probably weighing a good 400 pounds less, how would that be that car per se would, have better gas mileage? I mean, come on, right? I mean, all right, so now, here we go. We'll take a little time out as the time goes on. So there it kind of went down a little bit because now we're going up the hill, kind of getting back into it. So see if I eat my words today. I'm saying you get a good 22 miles per gallon on this vehicle once you're on the open highway. Or it's just a fake video. That was my conversation this morning. My YouTube channel was fake, 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 fake. We live in such a fake society. It's unbelievable how fake everything is around us and how so many people fall for the ploy of those out there that promote the fakeness like never ever seen. There's people out there running their mouth, posting pictures of $12, $14 carton of eggs. They're full of BS. They're such BSers. They're talking about organic, or they're at some high-end grocery store. They're so full of crap. And they're just on an agenda. They want to already say that since Donald Trump's in office, that instantly everything's more expensive. But yes, this didn't bother them 2-3 months ago that everything's expensive. And now they're going, oh, looky here. Donald Trump created all these high prices, everybody. Oh, yes, he did. It just happened within a few weeks' time after he got put into office, everybody. It just shifts overnight, just like that. Yeah, whatever. Distractions, distractions, distractions. A car channel? It is, but the sad part is, for you out there, sad part is the politics play into these cars more than ever in your lifetime. Ever. Oh, great. You're a guy that's like, screw you. Screw everybody. I don't care. This is a guy just pulled out. There's nobody behind me. There's nobody behind all this traffic. And this guy here just said, you know what? I don't care. What are you going to do to me, huh? You going to run into me? Yeah, gee, thanks. Well, it helped my fuel economy. Well, I go 25, 30 miles an hour, right? Yeah, but it just kind of cracks me up how many people don't want to accept that the political figures in this country are trying to drive a narrative to drive away the ice age like never ever seen. And they really tried more than ever when Joe Biden came into office to accomplish that, and they didn't. So, and if it wasn't for people like me and others speaking out and sharing with you the realities, and that's what my channel shows. It shows so much reality of an electric vehicle, what it really is, the good, the bad, the ugly. And this guy is trying to work. This is a guy here, he's trying to, you pull out in front of everybody, and they do 25 miles an hour. Gee, buddy, thanks a lot. But does he give two shits? Hell no. The roads. Oh, the beauty of driving on the road, right? Yippee yahoo. So you hear the car, hear the exhaust note. Remember, we took out the mufflers, put in some bigger ass exhaust tips, and the Ford Coyote truck, we did that right. That one was just perfect. Oh, I looked this morning at that deficiency on my Ford Mustang GT. I was wrong because I got this. So the car went to auction for $41. What a steal! So somebody got a really nice Vapor GT Mustang. It wasn't the top of the line package, But I put about, I would say, $4,000. I put like $3,500 or $4,000 of extras in it. Being I did the Steeda lowering street suspension. I did the front and rear brace brackets. Then I did the H-pipe, and I did the Corsa rear exhaust and mufflers. And I did the sport or the short shifter. So I would say conservative between the parts and labor. I had about $3,500 extra in that car, I think. So to me, that car should have been sold for like 43, maybe 44. So the guy that got it, whoever got 41, they just basically got all those extras I put on that car for nothing. But the Mustangs, like everything else, they suck. Once you buy a Ford Mustang for $50,000, it's basically worth 40, 35, 38 grand. So in all reality, maybe without that extra stuff on there, the car would have gone to auction for 37 or 38. So I may be kidding myself, and maybe that car actually got 41 out of it, which some would say was pretty healthy, because I don't think that car, I think that car is like 48 grand. If I remember right, I think that car is like 48 grand or something like that, brand new, I think. Just always sharing the story. As we put up the road, it's at 21 miles per gallon, everybody. Yippee-yahoo, right? Oh, this is so classic. You know, I'm thinking to myself, do I put this thing in cruise control? But, you know, why do I want to do that? Because I got to manage it. Duh. I've got frickin' adaptive cruise control. Jesus Christ, man. It's just having so many different cars. You just can't stay on top of it. Look at us here at 22.7, and we're doing 70 miles an hour. Yeah. So do I eat my words today, or do I not, or do I do? But yeah, it's just incredible how, oh my gosh. That's one thing. I think just having too many cars really isn't to your advantage. It's such, just between the obligations, but just keeping on top of what the car has to offer to you. This car doesn't even have a sunroof. And for me, I forget, I go to pull the sunroof back and there's nothing there. This is a very dark interior, being I tinted out the windows, a window strip across the way, and it's all blacked out interior. So it's very dark. But this is one thing I love about the Charger. And what's so interesting is back in 2015, when I put an order in for the 2016 Dodge Charger 4-door, and I had to wait about a year to get it, I bought a B5 Blue SRT Dodge Charger, and it had all the technology on it. And one of the things it had was this adaptive cruise control. And I absolutely just loved that feature. You know, there's many days after I traded in my B5 Blue Charger, after having about a year and putting about 20 some odd thousand miles on it, that I bought my brand new Hellcat red colored 4-door Hellcat Charger, and it didn't have that technology. And then when I just kind of drove the car and got into it, it was really fun, but I always thought to myself, was it really worth it? And in so many ways, it really wasn't. I mean, the money factor, if you really had your wits about you, and if I would have my wits about me, I never would have gotten rid of my SRT Challenger. That was a Jazz Blue, nor I would have gotten my B5 Blue Charger, because both those cars had that technology on them, because I ordered them. I special ordered both those cars, and a guy in Leesburg, Virginia, owns that Challenger. It is 23.2 with the peanut butter color interior. So for me, you know, in so many ways, after I got rid of those cars at the Hellcat was definitely faster, but it didn't have those luxuries that I had in those other cars. And I always felt like, was it really worth the swap out and for the monies that I paid and the money I lost on my cars? And at the end of the day, then you fast forward and those cars are all gone. You know, so I ended up partying with them anyways. I got rid of my Hellcats back in 2018 because I got myself a serious speeding ticket in my Ford Raptor truck. And I just, at that time, was like, you know what? It's time to take a little time out, because that was pretty radical. And even I got rid of the Ford Raptor. I kind of, just for a little while, I kind of parted with all the really fast cars because I was very worried about me losing my license. Just because these cars, you get in that Raptor truck, you get in the Hellcats, and you're just doing extremely high speeds very, very quickly. And then all of a sudden, you're pulled over. In Virginia, it's radical stuff when you get caught doing 100 miles an hour. I mean, if you don't know, get the right lawyer and know how to get your way out of that, you have possibility you revoke your license, suspend your license. Yeah, you can even go to jail if it gets too crazy. And if I've done some crazy speeds in Virginia, I have. Do I now know that be careful on doing that in Virginia? Yeah. Huh. Yikes, right? So we are at 23.6 miles per gallon. So now I'm going to go back to resume. So we're at 70. That's kind of the speed we're at right now. But up here, we'll probably notch up to 75. Maybe 80. But the car is so comfortable. Just hear his car. And it's just so very comfortable. And it's a lot of fun. Even as a four-door car, it still has a very fun feel to it and a fun factor to it. And it has the heated seats, has the heated steering wheel. As I said, it's got the adaptive cruise. And then you have your SRT pages. So you can have your different drive modes, give you the option. But I'm going to keep it normal because my goal is to optimize the fuel economy in this. And that's the goal. And there's always a police officer that sits down here right next to the bridge, kind of around the radar, but I'm not really worried about that because I'm not going over the speed limit. Now, the other day I was showing you how that Charger seemed like it had like a driver assist. And it's interesting, this has the lane assist, but it just doesn't correct itself. So like this here, you have to hold it. So that newer 2025 Dodge Charger definitely has a better setup on the lane assist. And voila, there he is. 24 miles per gallon, everybody. 24 miles per gallon, what'd I tell you? It wasn't a fake video, was it? Keep in mind, I'm obeying the speed limit. Keep in mind, I'm not getting into it. So, but yes, it's very possible, as you can see, 24 miles per gallon with the wide tires on this car. So in all reality, if this thing had my Dodge Challenger tires, those Pirellis, this thing would probably get 25 miles per gallon. I would just say, I know people out there have hit 28 in these cars, but I don't think they're the wide body package, because that's a bigger wheel and tire package. So the non-wide body package would definitely probably get you 26, maybe 28. It's such a comfortable car. It really is such a nice car. Do I hit 25? I don't think I will. I don't think I hit 25. Not with these tire wheel package. Wow. It's still climbing. Do we hit 25? I'll be blown away. If we hit 25 miles per gallon, I'll be like, wow. That's even beat my expectations. Stay tuned. Wow. Do we hit 25? 24.9 miles per gallon, everybody. I mean, quite impressive for a four-door, in so many ways, heavy-ass car. So before I get off the main road, do we hit 25? This has to be like about right now. We did it. Wow. There you go. 25 miles per gallon out of a Dodge Charger, 392 with big ass tires and wheels on it. That's mighty impressive. 70 mile an hour speed limit across Route 70 from Frederick, Maryland to Baltimore, Columbia area. I mean, wow. And I'm pretty sure this thing has premium in it, but I can't guarantee, but I would think so. My daughter knows they usually put premium in it. I think I would have done that, but goodness gracious, everybody. Uh-oh. Well, I've been in some traffic, and now I'm kind of hot-tailing it back to the shop. I got to get propane for the camper. I got to get propane. I kind of forgot about that. I've run my 2 tanks out, big ones, my other 2 smaller tanks. So I'm hot-tailing it back in, but 25 miles a gallon anymore, but because I'm now at 80. I was at 70. So do I stay at about 24 miles per gallon? I don't know. Well, it'll be interesting to see. Stay tuned. As we're on the raceway, this is the road where people get crazy and just do crazy speeds. And shabam, we are back to the Virginia side. And wow, I had a lot of fun coming back. I had to change out the drive modes to sport mode. But you know what? I'm still in that 20 mile per gallon plus fun time. Yeah, I had some derelicts come up on me. Oh, there's the kid. All right, here we are, heading back in. I got to get more energy. It's all about energy, everybody. That's all it is. Energy, energy. Everything around us. I think us humans forget about how much energy we consume of everything. Is all driven through energy. So I got to get back in and load up my propane tanks and get up to Tractor Supply and get those things refilled. So that's a little problem. Got really cold weather coming back in tomorrow and Sunday, and then next week, for the most part, it's cold again. Not radical, but it's a 30-degree week. So we're kind of back into the winter mode again. You know, I was thinking to myself, if you think about the Industrial Revolution, if you stop and I've been watching the World War II series here the last few nights, and I just was thinking to myself, if it wasn't for mankind and the Industrial Revolution really creating the manufacturing and the fossil fuels coming to life that came at the end of the 1800s into the early 1900s and World War I, and then how this world really did start to kind of master the infrastructure of the gasoline and diesel fuel, aviation fuel. But you just think, if it hadn't happened, would World War II have ever really played out the way it did? And to a degree, World War I, but more so World War II, because the infrastructure of the fuel, I mean, if you ever watch these films, did you ever just stop and think about how much fuel was being burned during World War II? All these military tanks. I mean, I used to work in the oil industry, and I used to drive tanker trucks out to job sites to fill up all this big earth moving equipment. I mean, that stuff, these things burn fuel like you can't believe. So when you look at all these tanks that were being used, all the trucks and equipment, and you just think about how they were moving around throughout Europe, and then you have the airplanes, you got the ships. It's just incredible to think about how much energy was being consumed and the infrastructure you had to have just to enable you as an army to be on the move. I know you think about all the military warfare of all the ammunition. I mean, it's mind-boggling to think about how much was consumed and built. And once again, the point is, if we hadn't kind of mastered back in the late industrial revolution, the manufacturing and then in the early 1900s of really creating the infrastructure of fossil fuel, and then to the 1930s, 1940s of the availability, would World War II ever come to be? I don't know. All right, the deep thinking, right? Or is it Deep Seek, the artificial intelligence that has everybody's hair raised up about how they accomplished that at a fraction of the cost? But I don't think so. All righty, we are back to the compound. The compound. Yes, their compound. Now, it's always a challenge of parking a car here, parking a car there. But I gotta get the dogs out. Then I gotta get the truck loaded up. Those propane tanks are a pain in the ass. Propane tanks, they're such a pain in the ass to haul around. The big tall ones. Oh, yeah. Alright, let's see how much damage the dogs did to my house. That's always a project. Let's get them all out. Come on, babies. Now they want to know. Come on, puppies. Let's go. Come on. Alright, where's all the troublemakers? There they are. Okay. Whoa. Hey there, babies. Hi. There's a rebel. Shall we count of 4? Yeah, yes you are. Hello, where are you? You little stinkers. Well, hello there. Hello. I know. Ouch, don't bite me. No, bite me. Look at you little stinkers, huh? Come on. All right, saddle. All right, there it is, everybody. The Plum Crazy. Hey, good you think I'm pee out here. Plum Crazy ride around day. Such a fun car. I had a guy in a BMW come up on me, and I did smoke him. He wasn't happy, but oh well. But it's so much fun. I mean, I've always have said for the money, the $392 package is a great value, but this is no longer available. So now, the reality is in the marketplace, in so many ways, you can pick up yourself a Hellcat. But if you can find yourself a nice $392, that'd be great. Kids calling.